Congratulations! You found the absolute best way to protect your engine with the 1WorldFilter. You get your oil so clean that it's actually technically cleaner than new oil. And this is how it's going to look on a finished engine. We have an oil pressure supply hose, a return hose, and a mounting location here on the fender well. But let's go to the shop and see how we prep this.
The filter, we got the bracket, hardware, mounting hardware, two fittings for the filter side, the fitting for the cap, oil filler cap, and the engine side pressure fitting, which we'll get to later. And then we're going to need some Teflon tape, and we're going to use this vise. So let's get that going. So we got our Teflon tape on the fittings. That one will go in there. These two will go into our in and out ports on the 1WorldFilter. So we're going to put these in and tighten them down really tight. And we're going to want to point it in the same direction. Then, while we have it on the bench, we're going to take our longer hose and thread it on and tighten it up on the in port. And we'll take the shorter hose and put it on the out and tighten them up while we still have it on the bench so it's nice and easy. When we're done, it'll look something like that. Then we're going to take the filter back off this bracket so that you can mount the bracket into the car before putting the filter back onto it. With the Toyota 4-point leader, we're going to take this engine cover off by removing these two nuts. So at the top, engine cover removed on the Toyota 4.0. We're going to get our pressure supply line from right under here, and then our oil filler cap. Remove the stock one and install ours so it looks this, points in this direction. And we have some pre-existing holes here, but we're going to mount the bracket right here so we can access to the bolts on each side to tighten it down. So we're going to drill a hole in each of those into the fender well and use the mounting hardware to secure that bracket.
When the holes are drilled and the bolts are used to fasten the bracket to the fender and then the filter is installed, it'll look like this. Now we're going to return to the oil filter housing and pull the plug.
And this plug is the one we're going to pull out. We want to put a big old rag down here because we're going to lose a bit of oil when we pull that plug out. So we're going to put a wrench on that fitting, break it loose. That gets loose. And we're going to pull the pressure port plug out. And that's where we're going to insert our fitting.
So here we're going to put in our adapter fitting, and we're going to get it in pretty snug, but we really don't want to over tighten it and go crazy. But we do want to be able to hold that firmly later with a wrench while we tighten the hose, because that does need to go very tight. To get enough clearance for these fittings to fit, you must punch out the oil drain nipple. It'll look something like this once you get it out. So when we have it all together, it'll look like this. You want the line from the middle of the extreme 1World oil filter housing to go to the pressure port on the stock oil filter housing right below here. Then the return line comes from the filter to this cap right here. The line goes to the out port on the extreme 1WorldFilter. So you're almost done. Just fire up the engine for a few seconds and check for leaks. Then top off the oil and, well, you're ready to go. And that's about all there is to it. It's really fairly simple to get some of the best protection your engine can possibly get and to reduce maintenance costs, and plus it looks really good. That's the way to drive smart.